There's a part of the internet you use every single second you're online, but you probably never even think about it. It's this invisible gatekeeper that holds the keys to your entire digital life. It sees where you go, what you do, and it has a massive impact on your privacy. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the domain name system, or DNS. I mean, just think about it for a second. Every search, every click, every single website you visit, it all leaves a trail of digital breadcrumbs. So the real question is, who's following that trail? And what are they doing with all that information? The answer might just surprise you, and it all comes back to that invisible gatekeeper. So let's start by figuring out what this system even is. It's a fundamental piece of the internet's plumbing, but it's one that most of us just take for granted. And honestly, that's exactly where the privacy problem begins. Okay, the absolute best way to think about DNS is to imagine it as the internet's phone book, right? We don't have to memorize a long string of numbers for every website. We just type in a simple name, like example.com. DNS does all the heavy lifting in the background, looking up that name to find the right number so our computer knows where to go. It's essential, and it's totally invisible. And this whole journey, this entire four-step dance, happens in the blink of an eye. We're talking less than 100 milliseconds. You type the address, your device asks for the number, the server finds it and sends it right back. Super efficient. But it's that second step, the DNS query, where our story really gets interesting.
And here it is. This is where the privacy problem kicks in. Every single one of those lightning-fast lookups creates a record, a breadcrumb. And who gets to see that trail of breadcrumbs is decided entirely by which DNS server you're using. For most of us, by default, that server belongs to our internet service provider, our ISP.
And that brings us to the heart of the matter. That breadcrumb trail, which is basically a complete history of your life online, is often logged, analyzed, and sometimes, even sold. Let's dig into what that actually means for you.
And look, we're not just talking about which news sites you read. Your DNS history reveals some incredibly sensitive stuff. I'm talking about the medical conditions you're researching, the banks you use, your political leanings, even your job searches. All of it gets logged, building this incredibly detailed profile of exactly who you are, usually without you even knowing it's happening.
So why is this so easy to see? Well, as the Electronic Frontier Foundation points out, traditional DNS is completely unencrypted. It's sent in clear text. The best analogy is that it's like sending a postcard through the mail. Anybody who gets their hands on it along the way, your ISP, your boss on the office network, or some hacker at a coffee shop, can read exactly where you're going online.
And it gets worse than just snooping. This lack of security opens the door to real attacks. It's called DNS hijacking. An attacker can literally intercept your request for, let's say, your bank's website. They then send back a fake IP address for a fake site they control. You think you're logging into your bank, but you're actually just handing over your password directly to a criminal.
Okay, so that's the bad news. And yeah, it's pretty bad. But the good news is there is a powerful and surprisingly simple solution to all of this. And it all boils down to one simple concept: encryption. I mean, look at this. The difference is night and day. The default setup on the left is that open postcard for the whole world to read. But encrypted DNS on the right, that's like sending your request inside a sealed armored truck. Your ISP can't peek inside, and no one can mess with it on the way. Now, you'll see a few different flavors of this tech, with acronyms like DOH, DOT, and the new one, DOQ. But you don't need to be an expert on the differences. The most important thing to know is that they all do the same fundamental job. They wrap your DNS queries in a tough layer of encryption, making your browsing history private again. So, if you're not going to use your ISP's default server anymore, who should you trust instead? Choosing your new gatekeeper is probably the most important step you can take in all of this. Here are 3 of the best options out there right now. If your top priority is just pure speed, combined with a really strong, audited privacy policy, Cloudflare is a fantastic choice. If you want a digital security guard that automatically blocks malicious websites before they even have a chance to load, that's Quad 9. And if you're the kind of person who loves to tinker and wants total control over blocking ads and trackers, NextDNS is definitely for you. The best part about all of this is that making the switch is so easy. This isn't some complex technical project. You can literally take back control of this crucial piece of your internet life, like right now. I'm serious. That's all the time we're talking about. In less time than it takes to brew a pot of coffee, you can close one of the single biggest privacy holes on all of your devices. In fact, for most people, it's probably going to be closer to 2 minutes. For example, on a typical Android phone, it's just 4 simple steps. You dive into your network settings, find the private DNS option, type in the name of the provider you picked, and hit save. That's it. You're done. And the process is just as simple on iOS, Windows, and macOS. And get this one tiny change protects everything. It's not just for your web browser. It encrypts the DNS lookups from your email app, your social media apps, your banking apps. Every single application on your device that talks to the internet is now protected. So when you really stop and think about it, a massive upgrade to your digital privacy and your security is literally one setting away. It's free, it's fast, and it protects you from widespread surveillance and some really common cyber attacks. So the only real question left is, why wait?